Okay, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. Okay, so I, an article came out after I did this video yesterday about the VA and, tried to report. I still haven't gotten an email or any kind of follow-up from that, what I reported to the constituency in Washington, D.C. yesterday. I gave them my email, and I haven't received no follow-up of any kind of from the constituent here in Minnesota that I reported it to, Kelly Morrison. I thought they would at least send me an email saying we received your complaint, we're going to send it here or there or whatever. Oh, no, nothing. I received no email, no verification of my complaint or anything. So basically it sounds like that phone call went nowhere to Washington, D.C., trying to report something to our supposed House Veterans Affairs Committee. Okay, I haven't received any follow-up of any kind. Okay, I had a feeling that was going to happen because of the way that they treated me on the phone call in D.C. They were saying, oh, well, trying to give me the runaround. It sounded like, oh, well, what district are you in? It doesn't say she's from a district. It says the state of Minnesota on the website. It sounded to me like right away that the phone number that I called was already trying to get me the runaround. And then they even said, well, you might be in Omar's district. Omar's not on the Veterans Affairs Committee. What does Omar have to do with anything? And once she said that, I was already like, oh boy, red flags. Like, what does Omar have to do with Veterans Affairs Committee? Aren't I calling the Veterans Affairs Committee? What does Omar have to do with that? See, but this is, I'm telling you, Tim Walz and Omar, they're part of this treason against this state. I mean, Tim Walz gave like the entire surplus, and Omar gave like the entire Minnesota surplus to the Muslim Brotherhood. It's like, I mean, I just have no idea how these people are not locked up. I mean, I don't know what more we have to prove, Then this came out yesterday. Apparently the VA, I don't know if this is good or bad, but Veterans Affairs has called, I don't know, we have plans to cut 30,000 employees by the end of September. I don't know, they're cutting people. Well, I don't know if you're cutting bad people, because believe me, there's a lot of bad people. I don't know if that's good or bad. Are they going to cut the good people or the bad people? So you never know. So I don't know. Apparently this came out in the news yesterday. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA plans to cut 30,000 employees by the end of September, down from its original plan of chopping 80,000. Well, I don't know, but under the first administration, I know that there was a lot of bad doctors. Under Trump's first administration, there was a lot of bad doctors that were fired because they needed to be fired, because they weren't taking care of veterans, and they weren't, there were valid complaints against the people that got fired in the first administration. And so, if people are not doing their job, we can't get any care there, well, clearly there's something wrong. I can't get any care there, and I can't get any help from the patient advocacy. I don't even feel safe going there. And my friend John's dad was murdered there. Okay. He went in for a bladder infection that we thought, it seemed like went systemic. It was very serious. And then, he had to go in, and, they said he went into cardiac arrest, and they didn't even try to, resuscitate him. And he came in, there was the order, there was a directive that was signed that was saying, I wish to be resuscitated, and they didn't. So they basically just murdered him there. So and the doctor that was involved in that was not even a VA doctor. He was a third party contractor doctor named Dr. Khalil that was contacted from the University of Minnesota. John found all this out. He was furious. It wasn't even a VA doctor. So this is how they're getting away with murder at the VA. They're just like this Optum company that's like a third party company that, you know, that's mistreating veterans. These type of companies are getting away with murder of veterans. And this is how they're getting around it, is using these third party doctors or third party. They come in and you think they're a VA doctor, but they don't actually work for the VA. They work for, say, the U of M or something. That's what happened with John's dad. Okay, this is scary stuff going on here. But so anyway, but I have a situation that I'm trying to deal with today. And anytime I deal with the courts here, it's very stressful and it's very dangerous because of how many people have been murdered in the state of Minnesota by the police. Okay, so here, just so you know, here's the current numbers of how many people have been murdered. I've almost been murdered by the police here. I've been illegally followed by these, before any of these shootings happened, by this unmarked cop that shot Melissa Horton and her husband. I was already being followed by these unmarked cops. So the situation today was a situation that happened to me, and I got it on video, that I've already been stalked by these unmarked cops, and I was already trying to report it to the Department of Public Safety as to what exactly are these unmarked vehicles doing around the neighborhood, because we had never seen them before and nobody had ever seen them before. I was already trying to address it, bring a red flag to the community before these shootings happened. If somebody would have looked into my complaints earlier, maybe it could have prevented these shootings, because we should not have these unmarked, especially after these shootings. Now none of these unmarked cops should be legal in the state of Minnesota. There was 4 people murdered. I mean, I don't know if the other people died. I think they did now. I think they died as well. There was Melissa Horton and her, then those other 2, and they were all public officials. But it's worse than that. I mean, there's history here prior to that. There's at least 230 people in the state of Minnesota that have died in encounters with law enforcement in Minnesota since 2000. According to the Star Tribune. I remember these articles. There was a lady like 10 years ago or something that just that tried reporting a crime. There was somebody that got assaulted or something in an alley or something that happened in Minneapolis, and she called the police, and as she was walking towards the police, this police officer said she was running at him or something, and he shot her in the stomach and she died. She was an Australian woman. I mean, she was the one who called the police, you know. So, I mean, there's stories that I've heard now for years. So apparently this goes back to 2000. It includes deaths from use of force, suicides, and accidents during law enforcement encounters. A report from the Minnesota Department of Health analyzed 177 fatalities during law enforcement encounters between 2016 and 2021. Finding that 45% were due to interpersonal use of force, 31% suicides, and 22% accidents. I mean, George Floyd's not the only person here. I mean, that's just the more national news. But I mean, we have a very serious problem. So anytime anybody goes to court or has any encounter with the law enforcement now, it's like you have to record them. You have to. Nobody trusts them. I mean, would you trust them if there was 230 people that have died by their hands? And then we just had these very national shootings. Would you trust ever going to a court here? It's like you're committing suicide. It's like you're walking into a trap or something. Okay. There was George Floyd, then there was the Ricky Cobb, the recent one in last year in Shakopee, and all he did was say, gets pulled over, and they won't even show the footage. They won't show. They're withholding the footage, and apparently he said, I want to speak to my lawyer, and he started driving away, and then they shot him, fatally shot him, and the officer never went to jail. There was Dante Wright in Brooklyn Park, who got pulled over on a minor warrant or something, and the officer said she pulled her taser instead of her gun. Oh, whoops. But I don't think, and like they said she did like a year in jail for killing somebody. Oh, gosh. that's kind of a serious mistake. Then there was a guy, I guess a couple rappers here, right, that have died, and Winston Boogie Smith and Brian Quinones. And they were both shot by the police in Minneapolis. They were both rappers, and they were both they were both mysterious circumstances. Okay, so anyway, I got pulled over a few months ago illegally by an unmarked cop in Golden Valley. So I've already recorded the first court date with this situation, and they have denied me my right to see the footage. So so then they said, and of course I plead not guilty. So the guy comes behind me out of nowhere. I wasn't doing anything. I was just driving along, and he pulls me over out of nowhere. And then I'm at a complete stop. Then I start recording him after I was at a complete stop because he was an unmarked cop. And I asked him for his ID. He refused to show me his ID. Instead, he said, "No, I want to see your ID." And so I did. I showed him my ID. But he never showed me his credentials. I have a right to see his credentials. Okay, and then I'm recording. And then I said, "There's no way I'm going to stop recording you. It feels safe right now." I recorded like from the second that he pulled me over till the minute that he left. Well, I mean, do you blame me now that this has happened by these unmarked cops of killing these officials? I was terrified. It was like completely unmarked. And so this is the situation I'm dealing with. I have a court date on Friday for this incident. And he completely pulled me over for absolutely no reason at all. Then he ended up giving me a ticket for recording him. Electronic device. Well, excuse me, I was at a complete stop already, and that is not illegal. In fact, you don't have the right to be without any decal, any markings at all in your car. So what you were doing is illegal. And then so I already tried requesting the footage on the first court date, and they withheld the footage from me the first court date. So I got this message today from the prosecutor's office in Golden Valley.
Hi, Deborah. This is Bella. I'm giving you a call from the Golden Valley City Prosecutor's Office.
And this prosecutor's office is extremely corrupt, as well as the courts.
This Friday, and I just touch base about reviewing any footage. If you want to do that,
I already requested the footage.
Your appearance on Friday. If you want to give me a call, we can chat about it. My phone number is 612-842-0849. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, I already requested the footage right in the court date. That's when they're supposed to show the footage. It's called discovery. And they were supposed to show the footage in the first court date, and they denied me my right to see the footage because he knows what he was. They're fully aware what they were doing is illegal.
Law office, how can I help you?
Is this Bella?
Yep.
Bella, I'm just returning your phone call. This is Deborah Davis. You said you have the footage to show me?
Oh, hi. Yes. I do, yes. So...
Can I see it before the court date? Because I requested it in the first court date. I requested it in the first court date. So why didn't you show it in the first court date? That was my right to see it in the first court date. It was called discovery, and I requested it in the first court date.
Like requested to see it at your first court date?
Yes, I requested to see the footage that the state has and they denied me my right. They withheld the evidence the first court date. So why did you deny the footage the first court date?
Oh, I don't know if I'm sure what you mean. Like you.
Well,
when you were there.
That was the whole point of having a court date. That's the whole point of having a court date. Is I said I would like to see the footage that the state has against me, and they didn't. They said they didn't have the footage. So why didn't you have the footage the first court date?
That I'm unsure of.
Well, I mean, so now you're going to say you have the footage. Are you with the same prosecutor office that was also called Campbell Knutson?
No.
What's the name of your prosecutor's office?
We're BBG Law.
But I remember you from Campbell Knutson. I talked to a Bella years ago.
That is impossible.
Okay, well, anyway, yeah, I would like to see the footage.
Yeah, so what we can do, because your court date is Friday, so if you have any time today, Wednesday, or Thursday, we can either meet at the courthouse or meet at the office, and I can show it to you. It's pretty short.
I would like to see that. I would just like it emailed to me. I would just like it emailed to me so I can look at it.
Oh, unfortunately, with Hennepin County, the digital evidence can't be sent directly to pro se defendants. If you were represented by a lawyer, we could send it to them, and then
I don't
review it on your own time.
Okay, and last time, Campbell Knutson tried to charge me $40 for the footage. Are you going to try to charge me money to see the footage against me for a false crime? Because then that would be called racketeering.
Nope.
Okay, but you're going to waste a bunch of my time and money. But this is also racketeering because you're trying to waste a bunch of my time and money to see the footage, and that you could just email. So that's also a waste of my time and money.
Or would you not like to see it?
Well, I mean, why didn't you have it the first? Why didn't you have it the first court date and waste my time? Why are you trying to waste my time now when you could have shown it on the first court date, Bella? And you withheld the evidence, Bella. What's your last name, Bella?
I didn't withhold anything.
Well, what's your last name? I said.
I just want.
You did. You did. You withheld the evidence on my first court date. What is your last name?
I'm not going to share that with you right now.
Oh, really? Because you know you're withholding the evidence. You know I got something on you. What's your last name?
How is it withholding if I am...
I asked you for the evidence the first court date, and you withheld it. Now you're trying to make me go for a ride and go to your office and a courthouse I don't feel safe going to, so you can show me some footage when you should have showed it in the first court date. It's called discovery, and you withheld my discovery footage.
I know that.
Okay. Oh, you do know that. You knew that you know that you withheld the footage, and what you did was illegal. So I'm recording this.
I don't.
And now you're trying to make me drive there, waste a bunch of my time and money. That would be considered racketeering. That's like what Burnsville Prosecutor Office did to a bunch of people when they tried charging us $40 to see the footage. That's in the category of racketeering. And boy, let's talk about how many people have already been murdered by the police in the state of Minnesota. Did you know it's 233 people? And you expect me to feel safe going anywhere near a courthouse here?
You don't have to if you don't want to. We can, if you want to.
I would like it's emailed to me. I would like a different way to see the footage. I don't feel safe going near a courthouse. Is there a different way I can see the footage?
Is there a place you would be comfortable meeting that
I don't have to meet you to see it. We're in the electronic age where you should be able to send it or give me a login to see it. I don't want to meet you anywhere. You work for the police and the sheriffs, and I'm not going to meet you anywhere. This is called now this is called entrapment, because you're trying to get me to meet you somewhere, and then the sheriff will be there, and then they can arrest me. I know how these wicked people work here. I don't have to meet you anywhere. I don't know you. This is in the day of electronics, where you should be able to send it to me by email or give me a login to see the footage, Bella. You see how dirty they are? She wants me to meet her somewhere, so then the sheriff will come and arrest me. Which sheriff do you work for?
That's not true at all.
Oh, what sheriff do you work for?
I don't work for the sheriff. I don't work.
All the prosecutors' offices do.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, I should be able to see the footage without going through all of this stuff with you. I don't have to meet you anywhere. You should be able to email me the footage. We're in the day of where you can
I'm
email
trying
that type
to
of thing.
think-
It's a
okay,
very
I'm
short
gonna
footage.
give you one more.
I am requesting the footage, and I'm requesting it by email. And if you don't send it to me, then you're going to be charged with withholding evidence.
I'm not.
I am
going to,
requesting the
because
footage from your law firm right now, right here. And if you do not send it to me, you're going to be charged with withholding the evidence. And you're trying to entrap me into something where I don't feel comfortable going and meeting with you because I don't know you. Get it? I don't know you. You're some phone number that called me. I don't know what. I've never heard of BBG law. How am I supposed to know who you are?
That's the problem.
The prosecutor office used to be called Campbell Knutson, and they were as corrupt gets in the state of Minnesota. And they were part of the cover-up of 233 murders. Oh, yeah. So you think I'm going to trust you? Okay, well, I've requested the footage. Would you like my email address?
I would like you to listen to what I'm saying, otherwise that we have to end this call.
Okay.
Have you heard what I'm saying to you about the evidence?
You said I have to go meet you somewhere to see the footage. Let's see. What law is that?
Why?
Is that some kind of
Why did I
statute?
say that happened?
Why do I have to? Do you have to
That's
meet?
exactly what I'm trying to explain. Would you like me to explain it to you or no?
I would like to explain why I have to
Just-
meet you somewhere, why you can't email it to me to see the footage.
Yes. Will you listen to my explanation, or will you speak over me? Because this wouldn't be helpful for either of our time. I want to lay it out for you, like exactly why I can't send it to you, but only if you're going to listen to what I'm saying. Does
Yes,
that make
I'm
sense?
listening. I'm listening.
Okay. Yes. So per Hennepin County, I can't send it digitally. It is a statute. It was enacted, I believe, around a year ago, that pro se defendants, like people who aren't represented by a lawyer, you can't have the digital access sent to you, digital evidence sent to you personally. So that's why there's other ways to do it, like meeting just at our office, at the courthouse. I completely understand if you aren't comfortable with that. Given your past experience with that other firm, I completely get that. And I also completely get that I'm just like a person on the phone. That makes sense to me. I mean, I am also, like a woman that seems to be scared of meeting up with people, so I get that. But on the flip side, another option could be, since it looks like
It says in the Minnesota, you don't necessarily have to meet with the prosecutor directly to see the footage related to a criminal case. The process for accessing evidence like footage typically involves legal concept of discovery, where the prosecution discloses information to the defense, and that was supposed to happen in the first court date. I'm looking up the law right now.
To defense, a defense attorney.
A defense would have been the state of Minnesota. Defense would have been the state of Minnesota because it was the state of Minnesota bringing the charges against me. You think I don't know the law?
No, that's backwards, man.
We don't have to do. This is a minor traffic violation, not a criminal offense. This is a civil matter, and in a civil matter, it's the state. And it's a civil matter, it's the state.
This is not civil. This is criminal, the type of charge. A civil prosecutor, that'd be a whole
The charge
different
is
office,
electronic wireless communication. That's a traffic violation.
Right, which is a statute, that is statute number 169.475. 169 charges fall under criminal, not civil law. So that's why you're with criminal prosecution. So.
Boy.
And so prosecution.
Okay, let's see what else it says. Discovery request. Your attorney will formally request discovery. Okay, and what if you're pro se? How do you formally request the evidence?
That would be how so I can send you like paper reports, like what we kind of differentiate like paper versus digital.
See, they're withholding the evidence because they knew 100% that the sheriff did is illegal. You're withholding evidence from me.
But how am I withholding the evidence?
Because I'm looking for the footage. Because I'm looking not a piece of paper. I'm looking for the footage.
what I'm saying
of that
can't
criminal
send
sheriff
those.
that was completely 100%
And not-
unmarked that pulled me
This
over
is what
that
I'm
day.
saying about listening. I can't. This is not going to be good either of us time wise.
Well,
my
you
other
know, I'm
option
looking up the
was
law right
just-
here. Discovery request. Okay, prosecution's disclosure. Prosecution is obliged to provide the defense with access to this evidence. You're obliged, you're the prosecution, and you are obliged to provide the defense with access to the evidence, which is any
Defense,
relevant
not the
footage.
defendant.
Okay.
The defense, not defendant. You are a pro se defendant.
Mhm.
Therefore, per Henn County statute, I cannot send the digital to you directly. My other option for you was at your court date. Do you know if you are appearing in person or online?
I was
believe it in
online
person.
and I requested the footage 3 times from the state of Minnesota, from the defense at that time. And they denied me the footage. They said, we don't have the footage handy.
Prosecution.
We don't have the footage on this court date. That is against the law. That was withholding evidence. That was a court date. I had my time and my energy to go there, and you weren't ready. You weren't prepared, and you were intentionally not prepared. And that's called withholding evidence.
Who is you? I don't believe.
What is that?
Ever
So the
talked
firm you work
right?
for is BBG Law was not prepared, and you were
Okay.
the one that was supposed to provide the evidence in that first court date. You work for BBG Law?
I do.
Okay. And where are you located? Okay.
We're in Minneapolis. We have an office in Minneapolis and an office in Anoka.
Okay. BBG Law in Anoka. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were supposed to provide the evidence and the discovery, so why didn't you?
Provide in what way? Because the way that
The
you
first
are
court
asking
date.
for
The first court date. Why weren't you prepared with the evidence?
I don't. You keep saying you, but I don't know who.
No, I
that's
said you.
referring.
Why weren't you prepared?
Yeah, you, like me or whoever you were talking with.
The
like
law firm. Why
prosecutor.
wasn't the law firm prepared with the evidence at the court date?
Typically, what happens is at your first appearance, you show up, you speak to the prosecutor for the first time.
Uh-huh.
They might talk offers, whatever, that whole, first appearance type stuff.
Uh-huh.
Then if you want the evidence would be requested. On our end of things, we also have to request it. So since we work for the state and not necessarily like police departments, we still have to request that stuff from the police or state
But you were
patrol.
supposed to provide it at the
That's
very
also
first court date. You were supposed to provide that at the very
That's not
first court date.
true. That would be something that is requested. That's for people with lawyers, that's for people without lawyers, that's for everybody.
No,
You show
in the
up
past,
first.
it's always been provided at the very first court date. And they said, have the state prepare, and then the judge says the state bring their case against the person, and then the state brings the case, and you see the footage, and then they say, believe me, I've been through this before. I've been pulled over so many times, I can't tell you, illegally. And then the judge says, do you wish to plead guilty or not guilty? I've already been to court like 10 times here. I know how it's supposed to go. And they say, then the state brings the evidence against me, and then they're supposed to bring up the footage, and then and then you plead guilty or not guilty after you see the footage. You're not supposed to withhold the evidence. It's a state. You're supposed to
Correct.
show the state evidence at that point. At the state, the state of Minnesota against me in this court date.
Right.
Or is it your law firm personally against me, or is it the state of Minnesota? The state of Minnesota was supposed to provide the evidence in the court date.
Well, actually,
And then you're supposed to say, would you like to plead guilty or not guilty? Well, I can't really see the evidence. So how am I supposed to plead guilty or not guilty if I haven't seen the evidence in that court date? How was I supposed to plead without any seeing the evidence in the court date, the first court date?
there is also differences per city and per county with procedural things about how these hearings go and when things are requested.
Oh, so now you're trying to get around withholding evidence because you say this is different in each county.
No one is withholding.
Yeah, you are. You're withholding evidence, and that's a crime. That's a crime against your law firm.
Withholding evidence and withholding from the way you want evidence sent to you are not the same thing. It would be equally as illegal for me to send you the evidence directly. That would be me committing a crime. So the workaround.
No, it's called discovery, and we have the right under the law to see the discovery against us. Okay.
If you were represented by a lawyer, absolutely.
Okay, let's see what it says about withholding evidence in the state of Minnesota. It says it's categorized under several offenses. Okay, obstruction of legal process. You obstructed my legal process, Bella. You were supposed to share the evidence, and now this is called withholding evidence, and you're going to be charged with obstruction of legal process. I've requested the evidence 3 times in court, and I've requested it 3 times on the phone. I'm done with this conversation. Now I'm going to file a charge against you. Thank you. I'm done with these people. We have to arrest these people in Minnesota. They are killing people, and they are totally violating the laws in the courts here. And okay, now I'm going to call the this dumb Brookdale court, where I have this dumb court date, and just tell them, okay, Brookdale court. Okay, these people are dangerous. This is scary here. There's so many people getting killed by the police. And then after all these shootings of these 4 people, you think I feel safe going to court? Okay, I'm trying to call the court.
Oh, you have reached 348-2040. This line is no longer in service.
Oh. Oh my God, they're not letting me even call the court. They're not letting me call the court. They just hung up on me twice. Trying to request that I can't make the court date.
348-2040. This line is no longer in service.
The Hennepin County courts are now refusing to pick up the phone. I'm requesting to I can't show up for the court date. I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe going to this court date, and plus I can't even make it because I have a car issue. Okay, so now you have, if you can't make a court appearance, then you have to let them know. So I'm trying to let them know that I can't make the appearance. And now they're not even letting me call the courts. And you think this state isn't corrupt as hell?
348-2040. This line is no longer in service.
This is the Brookdale court I'm supposed to go to on Friday. And now they're not even letting me make a phone call to the court so I can just request a new date or something, because I can't make it to the courthouse. And I don't feel safe. I want a remote court because I can't get there right now I don't have a working vehicle, and I have a right to request a remote court date, and I have a right to request the evidence. And they're just denying me all my rights. So let's see, Hennepin County. See if I can try to get a hold of another Hennepin County office. That was the courthouse was supposed to be, court date was supposed to be Hennepin County, Brookdale court, fake charge, but a bunch of wasted my time. Okay, so I'm to attempt Brookdale. I just attempted to call the Brookdale court. That number is no longer working. So what am I supposed to do now? That's the one I was supposed to call. You see how criminal these people are? We're dealing with massive criminals. Okay, massive criminals in this state, pulling people over, killing people.
Hennepin County District Court. Para continuar en español, presione 2.
Our contact center hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Answers to many questions related to filing fees, accessing court records, daily calendars, jury duty, and court forms can be found online at www.mncourts.gov/Hennepin. To pay a citation or to schedule an appointment with a hearing officer, press 1 and you will be directed to the Minnesota Court Payment Center. For information about a criminal expungement, press 3. For questions regarding marriage, birth, or death records, or to connect with a Hennepin County office, please hang up and call Hennepin County at 612-348-3000. For all other questions, press 4 to speak to the contact center staff.
Okay, so I'm trying to contact the Hennepin County Court.
Please wait.
Because I just got hung up on by the Brookdale Court, which is where it was supposed to be. Supposed to be at 2:30 on Friday. And I've requested
Can I help you?
yes, ma'am. I'm requesting to have a court date moved or changed to remote. I have car issues and I cannot make this court date.
Okay, what is the case number, court file number, or last name?
Last name is Davis.
First name and date of birth?
Deborah, 12271.
Okay, let me find your court case first. One moment. Alrighty, let me transfer you over to Brookdale Courthouse for further assistance.
Okay.
One moment.
See, the Brookdale Court isn't answering now, and that number was disconnected, and now they're not even answering. So how am I supposed to, contact them if they don't pick up their phone? See, this is how dirty the state of Minnesota is, and how dirty the cops and the sheriffs and the courts are. They are dangerous as hell.
Court? Help?
Is this the Brookdale Court?
Yeah, Brookdale District Court. How can I help?
Yes, ma'am. I cannot make a court date on July 25th at 2:30. I just can't make it. I have a car issue.
Okay. Can we start with a case number or your name?
Davis.
And then what's your first name and how do you spell it?
Deborah.
Sorry, you cut off there just a little bit.
Deborah.
Okay. And then what's your date of birth?
12271.
Alrighty, let me put you on hold and see if I can find your case, okay?
Okay. I've had to go through these fake tickets and all this fake mumbo jumbo with the courts so many times. I've been pulled over, like I said. Since I became a whistleblower in 12 years, I've gone through this whole thing 30 times at least. And pulled over more than that. Some of them got dismissed. But it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. It's been nonstop for me. And it's always the same, and they're so criminal the way they handle everything. And they'll withhold the evidence. We don't even know if half of these cops here are real cops, especially the unmarked ones. I don't even think they're real cops. This is so dangerous what's going on here. All of the unmarked cops, it just needs to be 100% illegal. I tried calling the Department of Public Safety months back when I first started seeing them last year in Golden Valley. The unmarked cops, I believe, are being funded by Homeland Security. Homeland Security money, which is the Homeland Security agency, intelligence agency, and they're funding the criminal cops to go. And I was told years ago that the money that's coming down to these cops to target us is coming from Homeland Security, and it all started with the Patriot Act way back that was signed after 9/11, and that's when Homeland Security started, because we were supposedly at war. Okay, Homeland Security started at that point, and they started, saying, they got to start tapping people's phones and things like that, seeing if we have terrorist links. That's when they started tapping all of our phones, and that's when they started this targeting program. And so these unmarked cops are being paid by Homeland Security intelligence to target innocent people, and they're 100%. This is 100% treason. So I already know this cop, the way he acted. I already knew that there was something wrong by the way he acted towards me. And it's not even real money. It's not state money. It's Homeland Security money. Okay? And this has to be illegal. We have to cut this funding of this Homeland Security money. What does Homeland Security do? That Mayorkas guy, like, what a joke. Is he arrested yet? Like, seriously? They already proven that they are not securing our border. And all this money, nobody has a clue. All the 300,000, you let 300,000 children disappear in the last 4 years, and you trust this Homeland Security agency? No. Doge them completely, like, cut everything. It's not a real agency. I've had enough of this. Basically, I'm just going to tell her, well, first of all, I do have a legitimate car issue right now, and then I can't make it there, and then, they should be able to give you the option of a remote court date, if you can't, and they, second of all, I don't feel safe going anywhere near these courts, especially when it was an unmarked cop. Like, I'm going to walk into a courtroom with an unmarked police officer after there was 4 shootings here, and you expect me to feel safe going anywhere near your courthouses when there's been 233 deaths by the police in the state of Minnesota? There's no way I feel safe. I don't feel safe. For my own safety, I cannot attend a court date here. I just ask for it all to be remote. It's just that they cannot. It's too dangerous here right now. It's too, the people that we have in these positions are totally out of they're totally they're total criminals. Okay, and it's not safe here in courtrooms. The police are not safe. So, like I said, I tried addressing this situation with the Department of Public Safety. I've talked to this situation with Mayor. I told her I was already getting pulled over for a year, or I got pulled over like months ago before this shooting by an unmarked police. I told some mayors about this, and I said I already tried reporting this to the Department of Public Safety as to why all of a sudden are these unmarked cops showing up. I don't believe they're real cops. I believe they work for Homeland Security Intelligence. And I believe that it's an illegal target. They're part of the illegal targeting of patriots. I mean, look at the extreme waste of my time, and just getting the total runaround. Withholding evidence. Now I can't even. I'm trying to do my part. Just saying, I can attend the court date, but only by Zoom. I can't make it there, and that is my legal right to be able to just request a remote court date if I can't make the court date. So I do everything that I'm supposed to do on my part, and they just will not budge. They're just like, they just won't do the right thing. They're not following any kind of laws. I mean, they're just complete criminals here. It says the courts have the discretion. Oh yeah, not if you've killed 233 people and you've had 4 people that have been murdered by unmarked cops, and you expect me to be in a courtroom with an unmarked cop. Then you no longer have the discretion at that point. You've lost your right to have discretion when you prove that you're willing to kill people with your unmarked cops. So I don't feel, it says here that it's going to be a right of the court to have the discretion whether I can have a remote court date. I feel that they have no longer have the courts here. I feel that they've lost that right to make any decisions themselves. When you have proven that you're willing to kill 233 people by law enforcement in the state of Minnesota, and you've already killed 4 people, 4 innocent state representatives, you've lost that right to make any discretions. I have the right for my own public safety to not attend a physical court date with your fake unmarked cops in the court. Okay, that is my right of public safety, for my safety. Okay, I think just some people just need to be arrested here and go to jail. I don't know what else to do. They just won't. I don't feel safe, and it was a totally unmarked cop, and I don't. And now they're trying to force me to go meet with the state prosecutor, who I don't even know. I feel like that's entrapment, and then you're trying to entrap me into going to this court date, and I'm trying to request a court remote, and it's all called entrapment. It's entrapment. Okay, entrapment would be considered that where police through trickery. That's basically he just filed a false charge, and now they're trying to entrap me into going to this court date where they are going to arrest me or try to put me away or something. It is called entrapment. Okay, through coercion or trickery. This is called entrapment. Cause the individual to participate in something. So now I got him on withholding evidence and entrapment. And let's see, we got 233 murders on top of it. They've already committed. So I think I got plenty of evidence on your asses. Seriously? What is this now? I don't know what this is. She's tried to transfer me, and nobody's picking up. So then they're gonna try to say that I never requested, to a remote court date. Then they're trying. Oh, we didn't receive the phone call. Oh, see, because nobody's gonna pick up, and it'll just be, and then there'll be a warrant for my arrest. See, this is called entrapment. This is entrapment. When they create the crime and cause the individual to participate. See, they created the situation for me by illegally pulling me over, and now they're trying to force me to participate in a court date that is the definition of entrapment. Okay, so this officer needs to be arrested for entrapment. Nobody's picking up. They are withholding evidence and entrapment. And committing entrapment. And now the court won't pick up? Would you feel safe going to any court date here? Like, for real. I mean, this is a disaster. So I guess the court's not picking up, This whole thing has caused 52 minutes of my time for a false court date. This has happened to me over 30 times. And what did I do? I reported a crime at a military base years ago, where if I didn't report it, I could have been held accountable for missing money if I didn't report it. I was damned if I did. It would have been called like some other crime if I didn't report the crime there. And this is what I've had to deal with on being on a targeted list for 12 years. These damn courts, and they're these false police, fake police. They're not even real police.